What if I told you that family court isn't the biggest battle you're facing? Most people would disagree. They'd say it's the judge, it's the CAFCASS officer, the solicitor, her ex, the false allegations, the delays, the injustice. And yes, those things matter. But, after coaching thousands, hundreds and thousands of fathers, I've noticed something. The men who survive family court aren't always the strongest ones with the strongest legal case. They are the ones who win the battle inside their head. Because once fear starts making your decisions, you've already lost. Today isn't about changing the court. You probably can't. It's about changing how you walk through it. Because one thing nobody can take from you, that is the one thing nobody can take from you. Your mind is listening. Most fathers spend every day repeating the same sentences. I'm never going to see my kids. The court is against men. My ex has already won. There's nothing I can do. Now ask yourself something. How do you behave after repeating those thoughts for 6 months? You stop preparing. You stop organizing evidence. You stop looking after yourself. You send emotional messages. You miss deadlines. You lose confidence during hearings. Eventually, behavior starts matching your thinking. Not because the thoughts were true, but because you trained your brain to believe they were. Your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and repetition. Whatever you repeat, it starts treating as fact. Family court starts before you walk into court. Most people think family court starts when they enter the courtroom. It doesn't. It starts months beforehand. Every email, every text message, every decision, every reaction, every time your ex tries to provoke you, every time someone accuses you of something you didn't do. Those moments are the training ground, because judges don't just look at allegations, they look at behavior. Can this person stay calm? Can they put the child first? Can they communicate appropriately? Can they regulate themselves under pressure? That starts long before the hearing. Stop building your identity around being a victim. This is probably the hardest coaching conversation I ever have. Some fathers become so consumed by what happened, it becomes who they are. They're no longer David. They're the dad who got stitched up. They're no longer building a future. They're reliving the same injustice every single day. Now, don't misunderstand me. What happened may well have been unfair. It may well have been devastating. But every conversation starts with your ex. Blah. Your ex is still controlling your life. Family court might occupy your calendar. It should never occupy your identity. You're still a father. You're still a man. You're still capable of building a meaningful life. The court is part of your story, and it doesn't have to become your entire personality. False allegations attack your identity. One of the cruelest parts of false allegations isn't the paperwork. It's what they do to your sense of self. Suddenly, you're reading statements describing you as a version of yourself you didn't even recognize: manipulative, controlling, dangerous, abusive. After hearing those words enough times, something strange starts to happen. You start asking, how do I disprove this? And start asking, What if everyone believes it? That's where people fall apart, because the allegation starts living rent-free in their mind. Don't let somebody else's narrative become your identity. Evidence defeats allegations. Character defeats shame. Emotions are information, not instructions. Every father feels anger, fear, panic, hopelessness. That's normal. What's normal is what's dangerous is allowing those emotions to make decisions for you. Fear says, send the angry text. Anger says, expose her on Facebook. Frustration says, miss the contact session. Hopelessness says, there's no point in attending. Your emotions are understandable. They're just terrible legal advisors. The fathers who get the best outcomes aren't emotionless. They simply refuse to let the emotion drive the car. Protect your attention. Family court can become an obsession. Forums, Facebook groups, reading horror stories until 2 a.m, watching endless videos about corruption. Every conversation becomes about the system. Now, here's the question. Is any of that improving your own case? Or is it simply feeding anxiety? You have a limited amount of emotional energy. Spend it gathering evidence, improving your parenting, preparing statements, looking after your health, learning the law, not doom scrolling through everyone else's disasters. Attention is a legal resource. Spend it wisely. Build evidence every single day. People think evidence exists in court bundles. People think evidence only exists in court bundles. It doesn't. Evidence starts with your behavior, keeping promises, being reliable, turning up, remaining child-focused, communicating politely, keeping records, following court orders, managing conflict. Every one of those actions becomes evidence, not just for the judge, but for yourself. Every disciplined choice tells you your own mind, I can handle this. Confidence doesn't come from winning. Confidence comes from repeatedly proving to yourself that you're becoming the kind of father who handles adversity with integrity. Become the father the court cannot ignore. Here's a mindset shift. Stop asking, how do I beat my ex? And start asking, how do I become the strongest parent in this process? That is something you control. Become organized. Become calm. Become child-focused. Become the father your children deserve, regardless of what anyone else does. Because here's the truth. You cannot always control the outcome, but you can absolutely control the man walking into the courtroom. And sometimes that's exactly what changes the outcome. Coaching takeaway. Family court will test you, every part of you, your patience, your integrity, your discipline, your confidence, your emotional resilience. You can allow the process to make you bitter, or you can allow it to make you stronger. The court case will eventually end. The question is, who will you be when it does? Will you still be living inside the allegations? Still blaming the system for every wrong decision? Still waiting for someone else to rebuild your life? Or will you become the father who used the hardest chapter of his life to build the strongest version of himself? That's the real victory. Because long after the paperwork is filed away, your children won't remember every court order. They will remember the man their father become while fighting for them. This is exactly the kind of work that we need to be doing.